Alright, everybody already know all you gotta do to get waves is brush your hair. You've done that already, you know what I'm saying? But you still wondering why in the world is your hair dry, flaked up, and itching? You've been searching YouTube all day. Well, this video is definitely gonna help you. So let's not waste any more time and let's just get straight into the video. Yo, what it do? It's your boy J. Lou, and you guys are just in time for something new. Alright, now in this video today, what I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to go into details in regards to hair porosity. Now, a lot of people may be wondering,
J. Lou, why are you making this video? It's not that serious when it comes to waving, and how does this actually help wavers?
Now, one of the main reasons why I'm making this video is because it's overdue, but the second reason why I wanted to make this video is because I'm sick and tired of all these people that's in my inbox. I'm not tired of y'all questions. What I'm tired of is the fact that everybody that comes into my inbox always starts off by saying,
hey yo J. Lou, I'm having issues with dry and flaky hair. My hair isn't being properly moisturized. I've been watching all these other YouTube wavers and everything like that, but my hair is still dry. What is the issue? Now,
the issue can be several different things, but 9 times out of 10, what I always find out is it's not because of a skin condition. You know what I'm saying? It's not because of their diet. Majority of the time, it's because they're trying to follow information that works for somebody else who doesn't know anything about hair health, or it's because they really just don't know and they're genuinely looking for answers. So when it comes to porosity, what is porosity? The first thing that you need to understand about porosity is porosity is simply how your hair absorbs and retains moisture. Now, with hair porosity, there are 3 different types of porosities. Now, the first type of porosity is called low porosity. What this simply means is the hair cuticle is actually closed off, it's compacted, and it does not allow moisture to get in easily. But because the hair shaft is closed off and everything is smooth, it allows you to be able to retain moisture for a very long time. Now, the second type of porosity is called normal porosity. What this basically means is your hair cuticle opens up just a little bit, and this is the ideal porosity. With this porosity, you can put almost anything in your hair and you'll never really have to worry about what you need to use to make your hair shine or be able to be properly moisturized. But the third type of porosity is called high porosity. Now with this one is just basically the opposite of low porosity. This simply means that it's easy for your hair to absorb moisture, but because your hair cuticles are open all the way, that moisture is harder to retain that moisture and keep it into your hair. So therefore, people with high porosity, they tend to have to put in products every single day. Versus low porosity wavers, if you put products in your hair, one thing that you will notice is you'll be able to keep your hair properly moisturized for at least 3 to 4 days if you do it right. You know what I'm saying? Now in the past, I've been able to get away with a week of not putting anything on my head because my hair was able to stay properly moisturized for the entire week. Now I've made a few videos already. One of my most famous videos is the truth about moisture video that I'll link right above here, but I figured I'll go into all of the details in regards to porosity. Now I already told you guys 3 different types of porosities, but most people are wondering,
how do I determine my hair porosity?
What I want you guys to understand is when it comes to hair, when it comes to the human body, nobody is pure low porosity, nobody is pure normal porosity, and nobody is pure high porosity. There are actually ways where you can alter your porosity by doing different things, and that's where licensed cosmetologists come into play, you know what I'm saying? But what I want to do is be able to go into the details about how you determine what your hair porosity is. Now, there's 3 different tests that you can do in order to determine your hair porosity. The first one is the floating hair strand test. This is the most known out of all of them, but this test is also the most misinformed, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times when people tell you how to do the floating hair test, they don't tell you all of the factors that you have to consider that will affect your results in regards to that. Now, the second test is called the slip test. Now, with wavers, this test may not be something that'll benefit you. This is something that's used more so by naturals, and you basically take strands of your hair and run your fingers along them to see how your hair feels. If it feels very smooth, it most likely means that you have low porosity hair. If your hair feels very, very bumpy, most likely it means that you have high porosity hair. But one reason why I don't recommend this test to not only wavers but also natural hair women is because of the fact that with kinky, coily, small curls and things like that, sometimes you may confuse your curls and your curl type with the fact that you'll be thinking you have high porosity hair just because you have kinkier, coilier curls, you know what I'm saying? So I don't recommend doing that test. Now the last test, I call this one the water drop test, and I'll get into a little bit more details a little bit later, but for this test, all you have to do is just take some water when your hair is dry and clean and place water on top of your head. So with that being said, let me go into the details of both of the tests. So with the floating hair strand test, in the past, everybody would tell you,
oh man, just use a cup of water, make sure that it's lukewarm.
The reason why a lot of people get messed up and confuse answers in regards to that test is because most people don't understand that it's not just about taking a cup of water, making sure your hair is clean and dropping it in there, you know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to this test, what you want to do is make sure that your hair is clean. When I say clean, I'm talking about you use a clarifying shampoo, you let it dry completely, then you chop pieces of your hair off to be able to be used in the test. Now, if your hair has products or oils or anything in it, that will help throw it off, because most people know oils act as a sealant, you know what I'm saying? And if any of you guys are like me, whenever I was young, I did the little oil and water test, and you will clearly see that oil and water don't mix, you know what I'm saying? So if you have oils in your hair or any kind of products, what most people don't understand is most products have oils within them. So whenever you have products in your hair and you try to put that on top of the water, the products are going to make it harder for you to really see the results. So as a waiver, what you want to do is make sure that you wash your hair. Alright, so as a waiver, if you want to consider doing this test, what I highly recommend you do is, y'all already know when we are woofing, we're growing our hair out, we're waiting till our hair gets to a certain length to be able to train it at higher levels. But before you cut your woof, every waiver knows that you have to properly wash and shampoo your hair, because you don't want to go to the barbershop the next day with products, because it can make the clipper snag your hair, you know what I'm saying? So the day before you go to the shop, all you have to do is shampoo your hair, clean it out real good and everything like that. Now, before you go to the shop, one thing that you can do is take some scissors and cut off a little piece of your hair. You don't have to cut off a lot. You just basically want to cut off some strands of your hair to be able to use in the test. Now, when it comes to the test, you want to use room temperature water, but you don't want to use the water that's coming out of your sink. The main reason why is people will tell you, oh, just use room temperature water. But for my true supporters, y'all already know, I went to school for civil engineering. There was at one point where I had to study water resources, and one of the biggest things that I learned is, depending on what area you live in, you may have hard water or you may have soft water. So whenever you try to do the floating hair test without knowing the water in your area, it really throws off the results of the floating hair test. And the main reason why is because if you're living in an area where it has hard water, such as Houston, like myself, hard water, whenever you're taking a bath or taking a shower, whenever you're using shampoo and soap, it rinses off easy, and once you rinse off, your skin feels dry while you're in the shower, you know what I'm saying? The main reason why that happens is because hard water has a lot of minerals within it. Now, on the flip side, soft water doesn't have as many minerals in it. And back when I was living in College Station, getting my degree and everything like that, one thing I realized is that College Station has softer water compared to Houston. The way I was able to tell is when I first took my shower, I was like,
man, what the heck? It still feels like I have soap on my body.
I was looking at my arms, I didn't see anything, but that soft water makes it feel as if you still have soap and everything on your skin. Now, with that being said, the water that I recommend that you use is distilled water. You can easily find distilled water at the store, and the main reason why I recommend using distilled water is because it takes the minerals out of the water. It's not hard, it's not soft, it's perfect for doing this, and it helps you be able to see the real results of your hair porosity test. Now, when it comes to the floating hair test, once you put your clean hair into the distilled water, what you need to do is notice how long it takes your hair to sink. If you put your hair in there and it sinks immediately, that will tell you that you have high porous hair. And the main reason why is because your hair is easily absorbing the water and it's sinking down to the bottom, because once your hair absorbs the water, it makes the hair strand a lot heavier, you know what I'm saying? Now, to know if you have normal porosity hair, once you put your hair in there, it's gonna sink, but it's not gonna sink as fast, and what may happen is it may get stuck in the middle of the cup. The main reason why is that if you have high porosity hair, most likely because your hair strand is open, it's a little bit more prone to damage, and your hair strand typically has voids in it, which basically means that more water is able to enter your hair if it's high porosity. If it's normal porosity, that means that there are not as many voids or empty spaces within your hair strand, so therefore it'll sink, but once it's filled, it'll stay somewhere in the middle of the cup. Now, with low porosity hair, one thing that you will notice is once you put it in there, because the hair strand is closed off and compacted, low porosity waivers don't have a lot of empty spaces within their hair strand. There are not a lot of voids, and the main reason why is because your hair strand is compromised out of 70% protein. This protein typically comes from keratin, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get into too many details of that, but with low porous hair, that's one of the main reasons why it will stay on top, is because even if it can absorb some of the water, at the end of the day, it doesn't have that much space to be able to absorb as much as possible, you know what I'm saying? So with all of that being said, that's the floating hair test. To me, that's the best way to know what your hair porosity is. But if you guys are lazy, because I know a lot of people will be like,
man, I'm not about to do all that. I'm not about to go to the store and buy distilled water.
I got you. The second test that you can do that I recommend is basically the water drop test. Now, with this test, all you have to do is make sure that your hair is properly clean, you know what I'm saying? Get a clarifying shampoo, wash your hair, wait till it's completely dry, and then what you want to do, you can either take a cup or just take your hand, run some water in your hand or the cup, and then drop it onto your hair. Now, what you need to do is look for how your hair responds to the water. If you drop the water on your hair and it looks like your hair absorbs it immediately, most likely you have high porous hair. Now, if you drop the water into your head and you see it kind of stay there for a little bit, but then it eventually gets absorbed, most likely you have normal porosity hair. But if you have low porosity hair and you drop the water into your head, what you will notice is the water will bead up, and most likely instead of it going into your hair, it'll run off your forehead, off the sides of your head, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Now, in my humble opinion, this is probably the easiest and the best test to start off with as a waiver because it's pretty simple and straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? But if you feel like you can't get the result that you're looking for, then simply go back to the floating hair strand test. Alright, now when it comes to products, one thing on my channel that y'all will understand is when you go back and watch all of my videos, I don't recommend products to everybody. You know what I'm saying? What I try to do is give you all a range of products, and I also try to tell you if you use this product, if you are a low porosity waiver, this is what you have to do to use this product. If you are a high porosity waiver, this is probably what you have to do, because based off your porosity, it determines which products react to your hair the best, as well as when you should use them. So case in point, most low porosity waivers typically have to follow an LOC. What that simply means is this is a sealing method that allows our hair to be able to absorb moisture and retain it. So what this basically means is you want to start off with a liquid or a moisturizer, then you follow it up with an oil. Typically most oils that low porosity waivers can use serves as a moisturizer as well as a sealant, because oils will coat your hair, and like I told you guys earlier, oil will kind of provide that protection barrier to where water can't leave your hair as easy. And then for the C, you can either use a cream or a butter. You know what I'm saying? Now with the creams and butters, they act as a sealant. Now I'm not gonna get into too much of details of that, but for that example that I just gave you, a high porosity waiver is not gonna follow the same process in regards to how they apply their products. You know what I'm saying? A high porosity waiver may recognize that, you know what, I need to put an oil in first, and then I need to follow it up with a butter or a cream, you know, because hair porosity determines your own method. You may not understand what hair porosity is, but at the end of the day, you've come up with a method based off of your hair porosity. So with that being said, hopefully this video is giving you guys more clarification in regards to what you are doing, or it even confirms what you're doing really does work for your hair, you know. Now another thing I want to mention when it comes to products, like I mentioned already before, low porosity waivers typically have a lot more protein in their hair, and that's one of the reasons why low porosity waivers really don't benefit from products that have a lot of protein in it. And that's why it's very important for you to figure out what works best for your hair. Now every single day I have people that will hit me up, and they're basically watching all these different YouTubers, and it's like,
man, this person had a moisturizing method, I followed it, I moisturize every single day, but my hair is still dry and flaky.
Now the main reason why that's taking place is because if you are a low porosity waiver, those products they're recommending has a lot of protein within it. CES, also known as Curl Enhancing Smoothie, it may say it has water as the first ingredient, but one thing I want to clarify is I made a video about the truth about moisture that I'll link right above here. Now in that video I said you want to make sure you look for a product that has water or aloe vera as the first ingredients to let you know that it is a moisturizer. But what you guys also have to understand is because product labels don't give you a percentage breakdown and be able to tell you the exact consistency of every single ingredient, just because it has water in there listed first doesn't mean that it has 50 or 75% water. It doesn't mean that it's a pure moisturizer. You will never really know the breakdown because every single product has a different recipe, you know what I'm saying? And when you look at CES has coconut oil in it. When you look at the breakdown of coconut oil has a lot of protein in it. So with that being said, a low porosity waiver will not be able to use CES as a moisturizer simply because even though it has water listed as the first thing and you would think,
okay, this is a moisturizer,
it also has another ingredient that goes against the natural makeup of your hair strand, you know what I'm saying? So low porosity waivers, they want to definitely avoid products that have a lot of protein in it, such as a lot of products that's on the market like 360 Style, Wave Builder products, all these different products that are known and advertised as helping you get waves. Most of these products have a lot of protein in it, and all you got to do is look at the back of the can. Now when it comes to high porosity waivers, a high porosity waiver may be able to use CES because at the end of the day it has water in it at first, but at the same time coconut oil acts as a sealant, and because coconut oil has a lot of protein in it, high porosity waivers don't have as much protein within their hair strands, and that coconut oil, what it will do is it will go in and fill the voids, and it will make your hair look a lot stronger and healthier, you know what I'm saying? So that's just one example of why some people may be able to use CES and some people may not be able to use it. It's not because CES is an all-around universal moisturizer, it's just based off of your hair porosity. Now the main reason why I wanted to make this video is because I'm sick and tired of these top YouTubers, all these people trying to throw shade in regards to the things that I'm bringing to the table, because I don't discredit something that somebody's doing unless it's flat out bogus. But I'm actually providing factual information backed by science, backed by your genetic makeup that will help take your waves to the next level. And I got people that don't know anything about hair health, they don't know anything about porosity, trying to undermine me and trying to make it seem like,
oh, all you gotta do is brush your hair.
Now the disclaimer I want to give on this video is at the end of the day you have to figure out what works for you. The main reason why I make videos is to be able to give you guys an educated response, as well as to be able to open up your mind frame so you can better understand your hair, because at the end of the day we all know all it takes is a brush brush to be able to get you waves. You don't even have to use any specific type of brush. You can use any brush to get you waves. But at the end of the day, there's a difference between somebody that's just trying to get waves versus somebody that's trying to be a waver. You know what I'm saying? And even with that being said, there are people that are wavers, but then there are people that want to be elite wavers. If you want to be an elite waver, the more you understand your hair and how it reacts to different products, as well as how it reacts to different haircuts, the better your waves will look, and that will take you to elite status way faster. But when I have 100 of you guys coming in my inbox always telling me,
man, my hair is dry, I'm following this person's advice and it's still dry and flaked up and itchy.
Hopefully this video helps you understand a lot more about your hair. Now, I can go into a lot more details because this video mainly covers hair porosity, but at the same time, there are a lot of different factors that affect your hair overall. There's hair texture, as well as curl type, as well as density, and I believe there's 2 more other things that I plan on making videos. But if you guys really appreciate this video, make sure you drop a like down below. If you have any comments or questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section down below. Make sure you save this video to your playlist, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of people that have been misled. They've been told the wrong information for so many times. They still out here struggling, and I'm basically trying to get you to the point where your waves is looking shiny, your waves is looking healthy and everything like that. So with that being said, make sure you share this video. It's your boy J. Lou. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Salute.
Come brush with me, ayy, do what I do. Lou is the name, I'm so off the chain. Torino is the brush, do wet wood grain. Brush a wave, I have something. Brush a wave, I have something. Brush a wave, I have something. Brush a wave, I have something.